Hey everyone, my name is Chimoge. This is Chimoge's Comments. Welcome. And today I want to talk to y'all about Fresh and Fit, specifically their recent demonetization from YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, if you're on YouTube, give me a like and subscribe. And if you're watching this anywhere else, because this will go out on YouTube first, but it'll be everywhere later, just like and follow the account. But anyway, Fresh and Fit recently got demonetized from YouTube. What that means is they got kicked out of YouTube's partner program. Because for those of you who don't know, if you meet certain criteria on YouTube, it's like a certain number of subscribers, a certain number of views in a certain amount of time. And it's different for shorts versus long videos. But long story short, you meet those criteria, you get to join YouTube's partner program. And that means YouTube is going to give you ad revenue. They also allow you to make money from your audience in certain ways, like super chats. They allow you to advertise your merchandise more prominently on your channel. So it's very helpful. And a lot of channels depend on the partner program primarily for their income, or rather, I should say more clearly, a lot of channels and YouTubers, creators get most of their income from YouTube's partner program. And based off of what is publicly known, Fresh and Fit were one of those channels. Now, for those of you who don't know Fresh and Fit, first of all, give yourselves a hand. Give yourselves a hand. You are avoiding toxicity and just evil. If you don't know who Fresh and Fit are, congratulations. You're probably having a good life. But sorry, I'm about to make your life worse. Basically, Fresh and Fit are a podcast of two black men, one named Myron Gaines. I'm pretty sure that's a fake name because the guy is like uh Sudanese. The other one, Walter, oh geez, what is his name? What the heck is his last name? Walter something or other. It's funny. Everyone knows both their famous names, but Myron is more famous and well liked by their audience. Although I don't know. Is that a prize to be well liked by Fresh and Fit's audience? Um, I don't think so. But anyway, so Myron and Walter, who go by the also alter egos Fresh and Fit, and I think for Myron that means he has two fake names. I don't know what that's about. Then again, who am I to talk? I have a couple different names myself, although I think those are not fake names. They're just different names from my soul. Because just like there's no such thing as God. That's a more complicated subject. But um, anyway, the character God is based on some real things that have many names, like the creator, right? Because there is a creator. Don't think I'm an atheist, guys. But anyway, let me not go on that tangent. But the whole point I'm making is I think all people have many names to describe us, just like the most names has many. The Most High has many names to describe him. The world around us has many names to describe her. So I have no problem with someone with many names, but if you got many fake names, I don't know about that because I don't know if the Most High ever decided to name someone Myron Gaines. Like, he's just creating people and he goes, you know what, I'm gonna name this one Myron. I don't think so. I just sorry, he picked the name Myron for himself. That always I'm sorry guys, that's always funny to me. But oh, he said I don't want to be Sudanese so bad. I'm just gonna name myself the worst white name in the world. So it's in waves, guys. Um, but anyway, that one. Let me not say it. And Walter, what they do basically is they have a podcast. They get a bunch of women they get off of sugar baby websites, Instagram, and just clubs in Miami. They get them drunk, then they ask them questions about gender, and they have these psychotic manosphere red pill opinions. For those of you who don't know what that is, that's basically just very nerdy woman hate. Like they're just a bunch of very nerdy people who hate women a lot and make that their whole life story. Um, Long story short. But anyway, they got those opinions, they hit him with it and all these fake statistics. And most people think that the women don't represent themselves well. Honestly, I think the women always manage to look more sensible than Myron and Walter and whatever guests they have on, because usually they'll have a guest on there as well. Like they have different segments, but on their after hours segment, which is the one that usually goes the most well, let me not say that because they have a segment where it's just the two of them talking. They said a lot of wild shit there. But anyway, sorry, I got some notification. But anyway, they always say crazy stuff. It's always very sexist or very racist because even though they're black, they really hate black people. And they mix the two a lot. And anyway, their craziness, they went viral. I think over a pandemic for a lot of crazy stuff they said, crazy stuff that happened on their podcast. Because often, all the time, either them or their guests is gonna insult one of the women they have on, and then they'll fight, and that sort of thing. They've had a gun pull on them a couple times. Just crazy. It's kind of like Jerry Springer, except with just sellouts running it instead of a white guy. But anyway, and less family on family relationships. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Jerry Springer, that's another thing. I mean, I think he's passed long enough that I could just say that show was an abomination. God, that thing in Maury, like, just things that should have never existed. But anyway, back to the trash show we're talking about today. So Fresh and Fit, their craziness has just escalated to the point where YouTube over the past year had already been giving them warnings. Their channel had gotten strikes, which is basically just like measures they take before they officially kick you out the partner program. So then they gone over to Rumble, which is a newer social media site that is obviously more permissive, right? It's harder to get banned off there. They let you say more, but still, everything they did, almost everything went up on YouTube, and most of their money seemed to be coming from YouTube still. But a lot of stuff they've been doing both on YouTube and off of YouTube had just gotten way worse than their normal thing usually, especially of recent. Myron Gaines went on stream on Rumble with Sneeko, another content creator who has actually been completely kicked off of YouTube for saying a lot of crazy well, I mean, he did say a lot of crazy manosphere stuff, but if you dig into it, I think the real reason he was saying a lot of other even crazier stuff that people paid less attention to. He was hanging out with Nick Fuentes, if that gives you an idea. But anyway, he went on there. He put on a KKK hood and was just saying racist things about Abu and Preach, another duo of black YouTubers. The irony is those guys, no offense to them, I even kind of look at them weird. They're like borderline red pill. If you just look at their channels, just always something bad about women. I don't honestly, this is another thing. What kind of men get up every morning and just say, you know what, my number one enemy is just women in general? Like what like people are dying. You have problems in your personal life, you have problems in your family, and you're like, you know what? Women in general are my problem. And then especially these guys will target black women. I don't like just you're an alpha male, so called. You go to the gym all the time, you build up these muscles, you're probably taking steroids to do it, and it's all just to fight women. What doesn't make any sense? Just look, man, I don't know. I wish I didn't even have to talk about these guys, but when there's poop all over the place, you have to scoop it. It is what it is. Um, but anyway, back on topic. Um, so Myron did some crazy, weird, racist stuff on Rumble, and then they did some other stuff. They had a Rumble only stream, which I'm gonna talk about in a future video I got coming up, where they invited the guy I mentioned before, Nick Fuentes, who, for those of you who don't know, is just a really big white nationalist. I hate that term, right wing white nationalists, because all these white people are white nationalists. They don't want you in our country, or even if they do want us in their country, they want a small number. But anyway, I had Nick Fuentes on. He was on there saying the N word to a bunch of black women. Just, just crazy. Just stuff that is just so crazy and stupid. You don't even. There's not even much to say about it. You just look at it. you just look at it, and really, if we lived in a society where most people were well, it would be ignored so much that people wouldn't even know who they are. It would just be like that weird thing I saw once on my timeline, scrolled past. But you got a lot of weirdos and hateful people who love their content, keep them boosted. But those weird and hateful people do not run YouTube. So after a while, YouTube said, you know what, this is too much. The stuff you're doing on our platform is over the line. And even the stuff you're doing off our platform is giving us a bad name because you're one of our biggest content creators. People associate you with us. So if you're out here putting on a white hood and calling someone the N word, even if you are yourself black, honestly, maybe it's even worse if you are yourself black, because then it's just like, what is this? What is this? Like, what are we looking at? But anyway, YouTube said, you know what? You're out of our partner program. So you can no longer make money off of YouTube. And Fresh and Fit made a short stream talking about it. Myron cried. He said, you know, when I was in the FBI, because you know I used to be an FBI agent, I was saving children. You know that was good, but saving you guys, saving you men who wake up every day and just say, "Women, I don't like you." It was better. Yeah, and then Walter, in his kind of more robotic self, was just like, "This hurts," you know. So obviously, they're in touch with their feminine side. But anyway, so Fresh and Fit did all that. And they're saying it might be the end of them, but personally, I don't think it'll be the end of them. There's a good chance they'll get smaller, like maybe they'll get less views, but it's not the end. I think they're just do more on Rumble, and they haven't even been completely kicked off of YouTube. They've just been demonetized, so they'll get less views on YouTube for now, but they're not totally gone because videos that aren't monetized get less views. But it's even possible that maybe they'll get remonetized because if you get demonetized, that's not necessarily it. You can reapply to the partner program. So it's possible that they'll strike a deal with YouTube because they're big enough that they probably have representatives who will talk to all these platforms for them, lawyers, all that. So they could talk to YouTube, strike a deal where they could get remonetized. Maybe the content they put on YouTube will just be more decent, human friendly. Um, I honestly, those guys are so committed to scummy behavior. I can't see them just cutting out the scummy content completely. The most I could see them doing is having like normal human or like somewhat normal human content on YouTube and then just doing their usual crazy and escalating crazy stuff on Rumble and elsewhere. But that's a possibility. But even if that doesn't happen, say they do eventually get completely kicked off of YouTube, they'll probably be smaller, at least for now. But they'll keep going on Rumble, maybe some other sites. So I don't think they're completely dead, but they'll definitely be smaller, at least for now in the short term. But the big thing I got to say on this, which you could probably tell from the title of the video, is I think what's happened to them is well deserved, right? I think even you could tell from everything I've said these previous 13 minutes and 44 seconds that I think they deserve it. Because, you know, I generally am not for censorship, but like even for me, a lot of the stuff they do and continue to do, it's a lot. It's a lot. Like it's like literal poison in society. Um, And to be fair, YouTube has not totally censored them. They just said, you know what, we're not giving you money. And I think that's fair. I don't think people should be censored. But at the same time, no one owes you money. Um, you know, and they've already made a lot of money off their scummy behavior. So unless they completely wasted it all on sugar babies, um, you know, then they should be able to survive. So, you know, I think this is just karma hitting two scummy guys and the people they roll with in the face. Apparently they're getting evicted from their studio. You know, I don't wish bad on anyone, but hopefully they don't get another studio unless they clean up their act. But anyway, that's what I got to say about it. Thank you all for watching. Please join my Patreon. Check me out on my social media. Whether you're watching this on YouTube or anywhere else. Donate. And I should have some merch coming out soon. Maybe it'll be out by the time you're watching this video. So please check that out, and peace.